Hey everybody, so you remember my curling with crayons video? Well, this is curling with braiding. So you can do this. You have to have a certain length of hair. I mean, just like with curlers, but I think it's a little bit easier because you can sleep better because you don't have to worry about, gee, how are these curlers gonna feel when I lay on my head? So you can see this part here, all curly. I've kept it like this for a week already, or more, because I keep unbraiding it and then rebraiding it so that it kind of relaxes for a few minutes, and then you allow it to, it just keeps it from breaking, because I've had like a piece about this big of hair, this big, that I have, I don't know, can you see that? There we go. And I've braided it and just had like a little tiny braid at the side here, but it started to break in pieces because of the fact that it had been in that one position for months. So you can see I have one piggy tail here. You want to make sure that you get it all the way, you see, braided as close to the tip as possible. It's easier with really long hair to get a really long braid because of the fact that you have more hair, but I'm going to show you, how to do this and how to get curls with braids. So let's get the camera set. So like when you're doing this, you want to divide your hair however you want it, and then you put it both sides just temporarily in a band or whatever you're going to be using, and then you take down one and then you get it combed how you want it, and then you start braiding. It's better to put them both up and then take one down and then put it back up, because if you just put them both up like that, or if you have one side down and then you put up the other and start braiding it, your hair from the side that's down will end up getting caught in it, and it's very difficult. So I'll show you how to do this. Take your hairband here. You just put your hair up how you want it. I like to just tie it back here, but you have to get the middle part so that you're using it in the back. You have this part that you have to I make sure that's the part that I'm holding on to on these, because otherwise I'll end up grabbing pieces of my hair in it, and the middle will end up grabbing your hair. So I don't suggest using those type of hairbands that some brands sell that are just like glued together to tips, because if you really need to tie your hair tight, it ends up snapping, and then you have to sew the little hairband together. So that's difficult. So the pigtails look really cute like this with the curls, and pigtails look cute braided anyways. So what you do is you make sure you got it really tight so that you are as close to your scalp as you can get it when you have it tied up, so that you get as much hair as possible, and divide it into thirds like this. It's very difficult to look at a camera and braid at the same time, especially when you're working with pigtails, but it's better to work like this, because you're not reaching across yourself. You don't want to be rude with yourself, crazy programs on TV. So you gotta make sure that you get it all divided mostly as equal as you can, because the smallest piece is going to be the part where you're going to have to stop braiding and tie your hair. So you gotta make sure that you get them as close to even as possible. Then when you have them in thirds, you just start. When you're doing these, you can do it in, you could even do 4 pigtails. You could do just a braid ponytail, but a braid ponytail ends up with a bigger curls, not as tight as the other ones that I had here were. If you do 4 pigtails, it's going to end up really big. Like, you know, the hair that the one football player for the Steelers has, Palomalu, how his hair is very big. I've had 4 pigtails braided for a while and then took it down. When you comb it out, it ends up like out to here. And when your hair is cut, you know, a little bit longer than your shoulders, it's very poofy. So you just keep doing this here. Make sure you braid as close as you can to the tip. And keep on braiding. I used to not be able to braid very well. I used to be very terrible at it. If you end up cutting like your hair where it's even in the back, but it's not like even in the sides or whatever, the way you cut it. But anyways, wherever you stop, you grab onto it like this, grab your band, and then if you're using your right hand, well, either way, you take your index finger and your thumb, you do this, and then you do that. With your thumb, you go back towards you, and it's easier, see? Just like that. And just keep going. And there it is. There's a pigtails braided. So what you do is after you have your pigtails done, either you could have washed your hair first. You have to leave it a little bit damp before you braid it. That way the water helps it to kind of twist. Or you can just do it before you take your shower, which is a little bit easier. But when you take your shower and wash your hair, you want to make sure you don't push the soap too much into the braids. Otherwise, it'll end up being really difficult to rinse out. And then you'll have to take them down and then redo them all over again. So just make sure when you put the soap on your hair, you just kind of run it like this over the braid, but don't push it in. Your hair's still getting washed, so it'll be alright. I've had it where the soap gets where your hair is right tied, and it's not very fun because you have to take it all the way down. So, see, I didn't get it as close as I wanted to the tip of my hair, so I have to start over here. If you have to start over, just grab the next piece that goes forward like this. So say if you go all the way up to here, this one is forward, you just grab that one and pick it out. This must be, well, I doubt this is important because you can see this is, so you just keep going. So let me get this finished here. Alright, so anyways, I got this one back up here. You can see. There it is. Here's this one. So what you do is when you're going to wash your hair, make sure you don't press the soap in. Up here, make sure that you can scrub it on the top around the top band here, but when you're going to put it on the braid, slide it down just over, because if you push it in, like I said, it'll get stuck in there and it'll be terrible. To dry it out, a hair dryer really won't work for this. So what you do is when you get out, you can twist your hair up at the top like this here. And then when you do that, what you do is you do both of them, and then you take your towel that you're going to dry your hair with and you wrap it around. You press onto where it's tied here or twisted, and it'll pull the moisture out a little bit better. And also when it's drying, what mine does is the tips here like to take shape, so it ends up looking really cool. So yep, that's how you do curls with braids. It's really easy. You just tie it up and braid it, and you can make it really extremely big hair by doing more braids, or you can just do it little by doing one braid, or you can do it where it's in between by doing pigtails. So anyways, that's my tips for doing curls with braids, and I like doing curls with braids because it's awesome. I have curled my bangs before. I will have to show that some other time. It gives my bangs a lot of volume. So anyways, that's my curling with braiding tip video. So I'm gonna go now.